All right, guys, top of the morning. Happy July 26th. I'm coming to you excited. I'm coming to you ready. I'm actually leaving to Vegas next week to speak at Inman, be an Inman ambassador, and then just fill my own cup with all kinds of information about the industry, about new tech tools, about how top leaders in the industry are growing, leading their team, what individual agents are doing to still thrive in a changing market. And so as much as I want to pour into other people, I have to fill my own cup. And so I'm excited for next week. I have to be in Vegas 3 times in the next couple months, which I had to really sell that to my wife. But nonetheless, I am excited to go gain the knowledge and come back ready, prepped, and prepared. So I want to unpack a couple things from our session we had on Wednesday. But before we do so, I'm actually going to turn it over to, I'm going to Ashley. Ashley, you always have good stuff to share with us. So Ashley, I want to have you bring us out on the field. What's going on? What's the sentiment? And what would you want to share with the group on this beautiful Friday morning before we get the ball rolling?
Good morning. My sentiment for the day is control your input. There's a lot of crazy going on in the world, and it's easy to kind of have the floodgates open and just let whatever comes in comes in. But I would encourage you to be very intentional with what you allow into your mind. And instead of just going with the flow and whatever happens, happen, really plan the bricks that you want to lay to create the future that you want.
Ooh, God, I love this. I absolutely love this. So really good stuff. Before we get into the session today, I prepared something I want to share with you. I'm getting asked this question quite a bit. I felt it's time. We'll get into that in a moment. But before we get there, how many of you attended the session on Wednesday with Maha? Please raise your hand if you attended that. I tell you what, I've had many guests, influencers, people that are, super, super are playing at a higher level than I'm playing at. Nonetheless, I thought her presentation was one of the best presentations that I've seen. I thought the content was great. I thought the messaging was great. I wanted to hear from you guys if you had any key takeaways and any things that you looked at and said, you know what, it's time to put that into my business, or look at my business in a different way, or look at my brand in a different way. Does anybody have any aha moments or takeaways from that session that they would want to share? Because we didn't have much time to unpack that session. Anybody want to share their contributions? Any takeaways from that session? Going once, going twice.
Yeah,
Right.
let me jump in real quick.
Yeah, let's
Elias.
go.
I mean, it was awesome. I mean, we had it must have been, shoot, I'm trying to think, like it was later that day. I think we had we had a later that day, we had an all up team. And I almost like didn't come, or I was just going to come for a short time on Wednesday because I had another 10 o'clock call. But I love your calls, and especially Wednesdays. So I'm like, I'm gonna jump on, stay as long as I can. Of course, stayed the whole time. It was awesome. I mean, incredible speaker, and just what she just really resonated, and I shared with the team, and so did Ashley and Christina. I think Stephanie was on. Just the bringing the value over the hustle. Of course, we all need the hustle part, but make sure you're not just out there. You can do this with whatever you have in life. I kind of equate it to maybe like working out or exercise. You could be busting your ass, but maybe doing the wrong thing. And it could be the same in business. You could be hustling and doing busy and doing all kinds of stuff, but if you're not bringing value, if you're not doing the right thing, then you're not going to get any traction, and you're not going to keep moving forward. So just trying that message was really, I don't know, just really resonated. And then of course the rest of her presentation, I connected with her on LinkedIn, and we'll probably do some other things with her. But thank you for bringing her to keep it moving. It was awesome.
Yeah, I can agree with you on everything that you just said. A couple things, you guys, for takeaways. I would definitely go down the path of researching your LinkedIn newsletter. If you're already creating a newsletter right now, then leverage LinkedIn to post your weekly newsletter there. And I think that that's an amazing vertical for us. And I feel for realtors, that's really, really underutilized. And that's a platform that is just ready for the taking for us. Also, the Google search alert and being able to own anytime somebody looks at your name, searches you on Google, or looks at you on Instagram, you're able to see all those analytics. So you can see how well you are being or how visible you are, excuse me, in the industry. And I thought that was really, really cool. And so those are two things that I'm working on right now. And then the knowledge panel, claiming your name on Google, really cool stuff. And if you didn't see the recording, go back and watch it. But let's go Blessing and let's go Brianna, and then we'll shift gears. You guys, I got some stuff prepped for you. Let's go Blessing.
Yeah, I really liked the point that she made about don't be a waiter. And as agents, we're always told to just don't be an order taker. Like, don't just take whatever the client's giving and create the experience and move forward. And when she said that, all I could hear was go make your opportunities. Like, don't wait for anything to happen. Go make the opportunities. And when she was saying that she came back to the States in the middle of the pandemic and literally just told herself, I've got nothing. We have to create it. You know, we have to start new. And what she's been able to build just from pure, I'm going to make this happen. I think that's a sentiment that we have to remember. And interestingly, you actually sent me a video. I think it was yesterday about being so delusional about something that doesn't exist and passionately seeing it. And that just tied right in because the don't be a waiter has been like sitting with me since Wednesday. So that was just a really powerful presentation. And the fact that, I mean, Gary Vee is freaking awesome. And the fact that she's like the powerhouse behind it, like it was such credibility and such a great speaker. So just thank you for lining that up.
Yeah, you got it. And you know what was cool about that is despite her relationship with Gary Vee, she didn't mention his name once. She didn't try to name drop. She didn't try to leverage him. She's like, I have something that is impactful and valuable to everybody. And there was one thing that she said that really stood out to me. And we're all wanting to be valuable assets for our consumers. We're wanting to provide the highest level of value. Well, that is obviously important, but the most important thing is making sure that we are the most valuable person throughout this entire, process, engagement, or whatever we call it. Because when we look at ourselves and say, I'm the most valuable person, that means that we're going to invest our time in reading, in studying, and understanding the market, enhancing our relationships, right? That's our opportunity to get better and become more valuable. Because when you become more valuable, when you read more, when you intake more, then you can provide even higher levels of value for your consumers. And so I really like this. She said, make you the most valuable person, throughout your entire journey. So let's go, Brianna, and then Brianna, we'll shift gears right after you. Let's go.
So for me, what I wrote down and I've been going back and looking at was what is the gap? What is the gap you want to do? And what are you willing to do to
No, so it's this. What is the gap between what what you want to do and what you are capable of doing? That's the first part of the question. The second is,
are you willing to close? What are you willing to do to close the difference?
yes.
And that resonated so deep with me because that's kind of what I'm going through right now, trying to close those gaps and really hone in and focus on what I'm doing. Sorry, I have a fever, so
Well,
not really good.
thank you for being here. Is it chicken fever? Is that a thing?
No, I think it's getting sick fever.
All right. Well, I appreciate you raising your hand, having your camera on, despite how you feel.
I'm getting ready for an intensity. So today I was like, no, I don't want to go. And I was like, nope, I'm going. I don't want to turn my camera on. Oh, camera's going on.
All right. Well, I truly, truly appreciate that. And, more information to come on intensity. But if you didn't watch that session, go back and watch that session. I'm actually going to play something for you guys really quick. I'm going to unhook my mic and I'm going to use my computer audio. Really quick, Vernon, can you hear me? Am I coming in loud and clear still? Okay, cool. So I want to share something with you because I thought it was really powerful. And whether or not you like this person, I don't really care. What I want you to do is I want you to listen to the message, right? I'm sure you had a parent in your life or somebody in your life that said, don't listen to the tone, listen to the message. And this is what I want you guys to do is I want you to hang on to this message. Now, I typically won't play videos on here because sometimes it doesn't convey, but I want to share this with you because I feel it's really, really important in this moment, particularly along the lines of what we're talking about right now. Let me let Jennifer in. Okay, cool. So I'm going to share my audio really quick. Judith said my audio is low, so let me go to my settings. All right, Judith, is it better now? All right, cool. I was just leaning on Vernon. He said it was coming in loud and clear, so okay. All right, we're good. Let me share my screen really quick. I'm going to share sound, and I just want you guys to watch this quick clip, and it should be less than a minute, and we're going to go right to this. All right, so I want to hear from you guys right after I play this, what your guys' thoughts, takeaways are on this quick clip, and I'm going to play this now.
The people that really lean into themselves, like really don't try to put other things on a pedestal, other people, other opinions, just get really comfortable of the purest form of them. Man, do they have impact, because that's the uniqueness. The way you say things, like the analogies, the stories, the interpretations, the subtle observations that are slightly tweaked, contextual to the moment. And that as a human, and that as an operator, and that as a parent, and as an executive, and that as an entrepreneur, and then as an author and a content creator, it all plays out. It all plays out. The people that really lean.
All right. So it's a quick clip, you guys, but I want to hear from you. When you hear that message, when you hear that video, when you listen to that, what stands out for you? And please take your stuff off of mute, you guys. I don't care who it is. Just go ahead and take your stuff off of mute. What did you hear? What was your interpretation of that message?
I took out of it, Elias. It's just when you put time and work into you, you can be the best version of you. It's just, I understood what he meant without like really, I don't know. I take that so hard because that's literally what I'm going through right now. I'm working on putting like so much time into me and just like developing. So I think it's just developing you.
Yeah, Jakar, I'm so glad that you said this. There was a time in my life, I remember when I was younger, that I had, we go through this like identity, like who am I becoming? Like, I want to be funny, but I want to be serious. Then it's just like you get older. And I wish somebody would have had that conversation when I was younger with me. It's just like the one thing that we all have is our unique voices, our vantage points, the way that we say things, the way that we put our messages together, the way that we analyze the world, the way that we think about movies and music and how we incorporate that into our vocabulary, all these things. Like, I just want everyone on the screen to be able to be so comfortable in their own skin that they don't care what anybody else thinks about them. What else, you guys? I want to hear from you guys. Anybody else have anything to contribute from that video? Because I thought it was powerful. Let's go, bless you.
So he said, don't put anyone else on a pedestal. And I think that the hardest thing is not to compare yourself to anyone else. You've got to look at the race that you're running and where you are. Like, your circumstances are yours. And you might see someone who looks like they have it all together. They're running they just have everything. And they could be fighting the heaviest demons that you just will never see because how they put it forward. Comparison absolutely kills joy. So if you put anyone on a pedestal, it's different from having respect for someone. But like when you put someone and say you want to elevate them, you immediately lower yourself. And the thing is, we're all doing the exact same thing. We are all trying to figure out how to live this life with all the tools that we have the best way that we can. So like, that's the part that I'm just so stuck on. Just don't put anyone on a pedestal. Have all the respect and love, but put yourself on a pedestal. When you feel good about you, just, man, things are different. Things fall in place.
God, I love that. You guys want to know what freedom is? Here's what freedom is. How many of you have ever, in any business endeavor, life, showing up to social events, how many people have ever felt relationships that they couldn't be themselves? Please raise your hand if you've ever felt like I just can't be myself, right? Maybe they'll judge me. Maybe they won't accept me. Maybe they'll look at me differently. The moment you remove that, and when you are just your weird, dorky, fun, expressive self, that's freedom. That's freedom, because I no longer can care, right? You guys have seen my energy. You've seen my quirkiness. Do I care? I just don't care. I just don't care. And the moment you remove that and say, I'm just going to be myself, is the moment you have freedom. Let's hear one more contribution. Vernon, anybody else want to contribute on that video? Their vantage point, what they saw, what they heard. Anybody else? Going once, going twice. All right, cool, you guys. Good stuff? All right, cool. Let me ask a question. I'm sure that every single person on this call has or will or is currently experiencing this. How many of you have ever asked yourself, oh my God, Elias talks about it, Kenny talks about it, I see it all over the place. They talk about social media all the time. Have you ever asked yourself, well, what should I actually post? Has that ever come across your mind ever? Have you? So Andrea, you know all the time what to post, when to post, how to post, why to post.
I mean, I kind of, or like you said, don't give a shit. Just kind of just post whatever. It's kind of my own little story, whether I'm eating or I'm taking my family on a trip. You gotta mix even the work, the things that you're doing, and just be
Totally.
honest with yourself. So I'll post silly videos of myself and I used to remember before Elias, I used to think too hard into like, okay, does my video look cute? Does my hair look right? Did I say the right thing? And it's like, I think you taught me, Elias, to just like, don't give it, just post it. Don't think about it and just do it, because you think about it twice, then you're gonna stop yourself. So
God, I love this. I love this. So I put some slides together for you guys, and I wanted to share this quote with you. I heard it from Jared James this morning. It said, consistency is undefeated. And it's the good consistency, it's the bad consistency, it's everything in between. Because when you're consistent in the gym, you're going to see the results. When you're consistent with reading, you're going to grow your knowledge base. But also, if you're consistent with eating shit food, you're going to look like shit, you're going to feel like shit, and that consistency is undefeated. So no matter which way you look at it, consistency is undefeated. And I look at social media as an opportunity for you to be super consistent with your brand building, your identity building, business building, sharing your opinions, sharing your views. Because what's the flip side of that? You are inconsistent you're consistent with not posting. How's that serving you? Well, that consistency is undefeated, right? If I'm never posting, if nobody ever sees me, well, that shit is winning. So you got to choose what side of this that you are going to be on. And so let me share my screen really quick with you. The slide deck. I'm going to just go right through this. And some of you might have seen this in the past, but I think that it's applicable based on where we are right now as we're all growing and learning new things on social media. So obviously, what should I post? This is probably something that we all experience. I'll be honest, there's days where I think about, okay, what am I going to post? But then what I do is I compartmentalize my thoughts and say, okay, this is what I'm going to post. Now, we all have had saw or created our own inspirational post. Now, an inspirational post is something that motivates people. It's inspiring. Maybe it's a quote. Maybe it's something that you read. Maybe it's something that you saw from Mel Robbins. But there's all kinds of inspirational content out there. And if you can right now, take a moment, write in the chat somebody that you follow that is super, super inspirational for you on social media. I'll say Mel Robbins, for example, right? Eckhart Tolle, who's a person that you follow for inspirational content? Now, that works for a lot of people, but for Kenny's not going to create an inspirational post. That's not his thing, right? So you have to look and be like, I read a lot. I love this inspirational stuff. That's right up my alley, right? I look at somebody like Vernon. I look at somebody like Blessing that I've spoke with on many occasions that have had some really inspirational things to share with me and to tell me. And I always leave those conversations like, wow. So if you can, put them in the chat. People that you follow that create inspirational content that you really, really enjoy. Now, that's one bucket. Well, let's go to the next bucket. Entertainment. Now, listen, I'm not a dancer. I'm not a TikToker. However, those types of things do really, really well, because here's why. What a consumer wants and what a lot of people do is when they're watching social media, they're looking for escapism. What I mean by that is that if you posted a funny video or if you did something that just made them laugh and it was super, off the wall, it allows somebody to escape for a moment and just be able to be free and have laughter. So entertainment content works, and you all have that. And let's go back to Jessica Segura Hernandez. Jessica Segura Hernandez is creating a video, and she's having some fun with this. She actually has something to say, and then her boyfriend in the background farts loud. And that video did so well because it was funny and it made people just say, oh my God, I cannot believe it. And I'm sure there was significant others out there that related to having the family be quiet, the boyfriend, the husband, whoever, and then have something funny happen. That video was funny and it was entertaining. All of you have things that are going on in your life that can be entertaining. So you have inspirational content, you have entertainment content, and then you have the educational content. Now, Ashley and I spoke about this the other day. Ashley's like, I think I need to switch up my content because, Kenny said he's going to start unfollowing people that only post educational content. Listen, you, my friend Vernon, you, my friend Princess, you, my friend Carlos, you are not boring at all. As a human being, there is nothing boring about you. But an overload of educational content is absolutely boring. However, it's important that you are sprinkling that in with your content. And here's what I want to do. Since we're realtors, since we're in the real estate profession, and since you guys are all going to be creating educational style content somewhere along the journey, I have some ideas for you. And feel free to write these down or come back and watch this video in the future. We have our lender partners on the call. What is happening with interest rates? What are the forecasts and what do they see happening in the next couple months? Forecasting, market update, right? Not just posting something on your wall that is a market update. Actually give it some context, right? If you want to serve an area of Martinez, Danville, Berkeley, Sacramento, Stockton, wherever you are, if there's a price point that you want to serve, Vernon wants to serve a price point of $800,000 because he feels that that's his sweet spot. Well, Vernon, how many houses are on the market right now between $700,000 and $900,000? And what's the lowest and what's the highest and where those are located? If you're a consumer right now and your budget is $700,000 to $900,000 and you're looking in the city of Vallejo, then this video is for you. What I'm going to do is I've made a list of the top homes that are on the market right now. And if you want a private showing, hit me up. I'd love to show you those homes because I'm setting up my calendar for this weekend, right? So who does that video speak to? It speaks directly to those consumers that fit within that budget. So market update, property tours. You guys see across the board that property tours are winning at a very high level. Go out there, have some fun, do some property tours. Price point inventory, I talked about that. Your proven process, lists of shops, restaurants, parks, seasonal activities, an FAQ sheet. What does a first-time home buyer need to know in order to be prepped and prepared? What does a seller need to know in this market on how to prep their home? How do you make the complex very simple with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guide, whatever that is? Make the complex very simple. How I help first-time buyers purchase a home in Oakland. How I reduce stress throughout my stress-free buying process. How I prep a home to market for 14 days on my proven marketing strategy, right? What are the problems that you solve, right? You all, if you're a realtor and you've gotten in a contract, you've solved a problem. Share that with consumers that are looking to you for answers as they're looking at your social media. And beware. Buyer beware stories, seller beware stories. Allow people to know the flip side of it. This shit is not all sunshines and rainbow. You need to make sure that we are giving buyer beware, seller beware, neighborhood beware. Just give them stories that allow them to say, wow, okay, that's pretty human. I really, really like that. So let's go back to the buckets. You have inspirational content. You have your entertainment content, and you have your educational content. Let's continue cruising on. Thought-provoking. There's probably been something that you have seen recently, something that you heard, something that made you really think about things a little bit differently, or it gave you perspective and it helped you to look at it in a way that you had never looked at it before. Thought-provoking. We all experience that, and I want you guys to really start to harness that and start to write those things down. If you're in the car and you hear something and it really made you think deeply about something, then I want you to write that down. And then I want you to shoot a video based on your opinion of that and make other people think and get them to contribute their thoughts in the chat and see what type of, in the comments, and see what type of engagement you can get from that. Emotion provoking. I don't want to get too deep on this because it's a very, sensitive subject, but Brianna had posted something yesterday about like a 16-year-old girl, and I went down the whole path and I read about it and read about the story. And it was super, super emotional because I have children, I have young girls in our house. but emotion provoking. What are the things that you can say and do? And it doesn't have to be doom and gloom, but like making people think and feel, right? Like if you were able to create something that made somebody, emotional, or think that, hey, we don't have much time left on this planet, right? If you're in your 40s and the average lifespan of an American is 80 years old, like, what am I going to do with the rest of my life, right? What am I going to do? I'll be older soon, right? I might not be able to have the physical capabilities. I may not be able to move around, be able to do the things that I truly want to do. That shit provokes emotion, right? So I want you guys to think about content as this universal opportunity for you to speak about things that are not just business related. Look around your life, you guys. There's so many things to talk about. And let's go your opinion. Y'all have them. And this is something that will always separate you. People like Gary Vee, people like Kenny do a really good job speaking your opinion. Do you agree with everything that Kenny says? No. Do I? Absolutely not. But what I love about my brother is that he's always talking his opinion, always. And he does not care. And I think, once again, that goes back to freedom. The moment that you're able to speak your opinion, and if people unfollow you, then they unfollow you. It's okay to speak your opinion. Now, matters that have to do with religion and politics, hey, that's up to you. We know that those are controversial topics, and speaking your opinion on those things are definitely going to get you engagement. Now, you might get some trolls, you might get some positivity, but it's part of the game. You guys got to accept that, especially if you're giving your opinion on matters that are so sensitive. Let's talk about newsjacking. And before I go any further, please stop me. Does anybody have any questions, any contributions, any thoughts, any insight thus far? All right, cool. Newsjacking. You're going to hear me say this term over and over again, and I think it's important that we have this conversation here. What is newsjacking? Well, I'm hoping that each of you are reading every single day about the market. I don't care if it's 5 minutes, 30 minutes, however long it is, every single day you should wake up and say, I need to gain a little bit more information about this market. That's it, just a little bit, every single day. And then, did I see an article that I can jack? And how can I take that article that was written by somebody else and put it as a green screen behind me and say, you know what? Hey guys, saw this article today. I want to share my opinion with you. The headlines is tides of change. Housing market experts split or whether the silver tsunami of baby boomer downsizing will begin in 2024. And then you share your narrative. You guys, newsjacking is amazing because you don't have to worry about writing anything out or coming up with the concept. That's already done for you. Jared James on the right here is somebody that I would highly recommend that you follow. He does a really good job at newsjacking. You all have the ability to do this. This is very, very simple. Even if you didn't have the blue screen, or excuse me, the green screen, you could still share your narrative about an article that you just read. Here's a couple other examples. Ricky Caruth is a great example. And then Ashley. Ashley did this video. I don't know how long it was. How long ago I picked it from your Instagram. But Ashley, you do this. So I figured I could turn the mic over to you and have you kind of provide your insights on this as well.
Yeah, I just look for anything shocking or really good news, like rates are dropping, or like in this instance, there was a giant hack on Fidelity that was going to affect everyone's closings that day. And I figured it was something that everyone needed to know. I was literally with my kids in Washington at a giant jungle place when I made this. I was sitting on the side and I had noise in the background. No one cares. I was like, oh my gosh, this happened. I have to tell the world. Screenshot it, made it a green screen, and it went viral because people were sharing it. Anything that's share worthy that you're like, oh my gosh, people need to know what's going on, just screenshot it. You can literally be anywhere. Look, I got a friend sweatshirt on, my hair's half brushed, and I'm just in the middle of a green screen, but they're not looking at that. They're looking at the share worthy content that you're telling people about. And you can do this so easily. You just go through news articles and anything that jumps out to you. It takes 2 seconds to make. And then I wanted to comment, the guy on the left, what is his name? Ricky? I love him. He starts every single video with like, whoop, or whatever he does. He makes like a giant noise, and I'm always reading it because I'm like, what is he yelling about? But it gets your attention. So yeah, he does this.
And it goes back to the conversation about being valuable. The fact that you took the time to read the article and now you're sharing your narrative, it makes you even more valuable for the people that are in your audience. And so now what you've done is you've taken something that wasn't even written by you, given your narrative, made it shareable, and now you get all of that engagement, you guys. So newsjacking, let me go back to this. Newsjacking will win at a very, very high level. Let's talk about frequency. Everyone always asks, how often? What should I be posting? What should I be doing? Now listen, I don't expect for you to go crazy with your stories. I go crazy with the stories, but I have a goal every single day. Kenny goes crazy with this story because you look at your stories as your daily sitcom. That's your opportunity to get people engaged in what you're doing. I'm sure people have seen stuff about Silas. People are now looking at the stuff about the cookout. If they're not with our team, they're like, damn, your team always does something fun. Yeah, we do. You should probably join us, right? So people get to join in that daily sitcom. And if you want a simple cadence, you guys, I'm going to give it to you. 10 stories a day, 5 DMs daily, and 3 reels a week. You've heard me say this, and I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. Because think about the magnitude of this. When I post 70 stories a week, that means by the end of the year, I've posted 3,640 stories at a minimum. Now, obviously, there's going to be days where you're going to post way more than 10 stories. And if I was to do that amount of reels, that means that I have done, let's see, 30, hold on, how did I get this math? Hold on, 35 reels for the entire year. I actually like that level of production for you because, oh no, actually that is wrong. Sorry, I'm going 3 times. Yeah, actually 156 reels for the year. You guys, that's some really, really good engagement for you. And so when you think about it, the consistency is undefeated. And I think that is so right. No matter what, if you did this level of engagement on social media or this level of production, that consistency is going to be undefeated. But if the consistency is on the other end that I don't post, then yeah, that's going to be undefeated as well. So this is the cadence that I promise you, if you stick to, you guys will see growth. And let's talk about evaluation. What I want you to do is I want you to evaluate. I want you to be real with yourself, the good, bad, and the ugly, what's working, what's not working, and be able to unpack this because this is a lever in your business. This is like looking at your Real Scout. This is like looking at your CRM. This is like looking at your MailChimp campaign, your mailers, your PPC leads, all these funnels that you have for your business. This is a lever. This is part of the metrics that are driving your business forward. And let's just look at this. I'll share with you my own. If you go to the top left corner of your Instagram, you'll see the 3 little lines. Just hit that and go into your insights. What I did is I ran a report from the last 30 days to see how my engagement's been doing over the last 30 days. It gives you an overview of accounts reached, accounts engaged, total followers. It shows you how many stories, how many reels, and how many live videos. So if I'm going to share with you and I'm going to encourage you guys to build on social media, then I better be walking the walk, right? So in the last 30 days, I've posted 950 stories and I've dropped 32 reels. So when I'm telling you guys that these things are going to work, I want to share examples for you. You can also see what is the age range of people that are looking at my content. Well, in this case, 35 to 44 was the highest number, and the second number is 25 to 34, and the third highest number was 45 to 54. So when you think about that and you do a little bit more research and you find out what is actually working and why people are watching these videos, now you can speak directly to an audience that is already tuning in to see your content. And then you look at the insights of the videos that you've posted. If the videos that you're posting are not getting the traction that you want to, then start to evaluate that. Was there a hook? Was it funny? Was it inspirational? Did it share valuable information about the industry or about an article that I read? Whatever it is. And you have to look at it and say, what's working? What's not, and then what's working needs to be doubled down, quadrupled down, and you do that until it no longer works. Because what happens is that our business goes through cycles, or social media goes through cycles of what people like and what they don't like, trends and things like that. So a video that worked for you 2 years ago might not have the same effect today. So you have to be nimble and be able to change. But the way that you do that is you have to evaluate. You're running a business here, and this is an important lever for you to be able to tap into, look at, evaluate, and see what is truly working. And then research. We all do our own research in some way, shape, or form. But what you need to start doing is you need to start categorizing that. And what you do is you go into your saved. So every time you're sitting there and you're going to sleep and you're scrolling, or you're at the airport, or you're on the plane, what you're wanting to do is you're wanting to look at things that inspire you or you can come back to in the future. So when I look at my saved, I'm constantly looking at things that are hooks, that are fitness related, that are fun for us to do as a team, music related. And so what I do is I store all those. So if I ever have a moment where I feel like, you know what, I want to create something, let me go back and find some inspiration. I go back to the videos that I've saved, and I'll probably get something from that. I probably will, or at least give me a head start of like, ooh, I like how he or she introed that video. I want to intro my video in a similar way, but I'm going to use completely different words and make it my own. And then your audio. I have never had a shortage of audio tracks to use for any of my videos. Why? Because I spend that time. Anytime I watch a video and I see how much it's blown up and I see how many times it's been saved and shared, shared, what I want to do is I want to save that audio because I like that audio and I want to save it for a video that I do, something that's cool, something that's emotional, something that is intense, or something that is tranquil, whatever that is. I have a library. So I'm not just aimlessly searching for music that's going to land and it's going to match up with that video. I'm storing these things. So it goes back to your guys' research. Make sure that you're creating a catalog for yourself to be able to reference and go back to. That way, when it comes time for you to drop that video, you got your ideas, you got your inspiration, and now you don't have to go too far. And so I wanted to share those things with you guys because I think it's important that we're all looking at this in a very, very universal way. You should never think about yourself as like, I don't know what to post. If you don't know what to post, then you're not looking at your entire life. What you're thinking about is, what business stuff can I post? That's a Snorville most of the time. It's a Snorville most of the time. But if you sprinkle it with some inspirational stuff, some entertainment stuff, you newsjack, you did a couple articles, you talked about your kids, you talked about the struggles of being a mom and an entrepreneur, being a dad, being an entrepreneur, balancing a business, balancing school schedules. Those are all things that people can relate to. So I want to share that with you guys. I want to share those thoughts and that sentiment with you. And I want to open the mic up to a few people on the call today. I just want to see where your head's at right now. So let's go over to, I'll give Chicken Mom a break because she is not feeling well. But let's go to Christina, let's go to Jakara, and let's go back up to Blessing. I want to hear your thoughts and contribution on this sesh so far. Christina Macias-Chan.
Hi, so I think I really relate with what you were saying because I feel that working still full-time and real estate, and I'm getting married this year. And it's just like so many things at once. Being really intentional with my time is what I'm really trying to focus in on, because if I'm not, then that's where I waste time. And then it's just like, I'm not moving the needle forward. So I really resonated with what you said, really sharing that journey. Because sometimes I feel a little bit like, oh, well, you know, if it's not real estate related, then it might not get as much engagement. And so I think if I find a way to just kind of connect the two and share what I'm going through, maybe more people could connect with me.
Yeah, and Christina, the one thing that I've always experienced with my interaction with you is that you just come across very calm, like you're always relaxed, right? And I'm sure that there's things going on, but how does one stay relaxed with running 2 businesses and planning for a wedding?
Yeah.
No, like I'm asking that question because you know why? Other people are experiencing that same shit, right? How do you plan for a wedding and be an entrepreneur and still stay calm and have time for your loved ones? Well, in this video, I'm gonna give you 3 tips on how to do so. Well, shit, I'm here for that. I'm here for that. People love that style of content. So just what you did right now, you've already identified things that you're going through that you said, you know what, if I'm going through this, other people are. And if I've kind of figured out a groove, maybe that helps somebody, right? Your experience is going to serve somebody else. So I appreciate that vantage point. Good stuff. I don't know who I said was on deck. Who's on deck? Was it Jakara? Was that you? All right, Jakara and then Blessing.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, Elias. Can you remind me the question?
So,
But
so the so the question was just, what's your thoughts, contributions on the conversation thus far?
yeah. Honestly, I think just getting used to posting in general. I've always been such a private person, but I've been going through so many transformations, just like in general, I'm like getting prepared to share, and I feel like it feels better to share. So just like understanding to share like your human experiences, like your personality, what you're doing as far as business, relationship wise, the complexities of relationships, just all that good jazz. And I think that just having that in mind and then sharing that on social media is also good for engagement too. That's something that I'm understanding, like just sharing me being a human, whether that's real estate, it could be, that's a part of life. So just understanding everything, just sharing.
Jakar, let me ask you a quick question. How many pictures or videos did you take yesterday at the cookout?
I honestly didn't take any because I was engaging with people.
All right, cool. So you're engaging with people. So is it safe to say that you got a good sense of the team that you're now aligned with?
Yes.
You met probably some really cool people yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so like culture defined, right? Hey guys, I just recently joined Team Fast and I had an opportunity to be at our first like get together. And here's what I love about the culture, or here's who I met, or here's why I'm so excited to be aligned with this team. Here's what family means to us. Like there were so many things that happened yesterday from your vantage point that would be different than mine that you probably can share. And then somebody else, just like when you met Kuhn, may see your video and be like, damn, Jakara, I don't have that with my brokerage. You guys do that. How do I be a part of that amazing environment? And that's how you grow, by sharing, right? And so I appreciate it. My advice to you is don't wait to post, just post in the moment. Post now, right? So good stuff. I appreciate your contribution. Good to meet you yesterday. Let's go blessing, thoughts, contribution on the conversation.
Oh, there's so many gems. There's so many like little nuggets. And like, so the first thing I would say is you gave us a lot of information, and I would always say pick one thing. Like it's a whole list of, from the educational list. I never even thought about the neighborhood beware, because that's something where if we post something about a neighborhood that has a listing sign up, like, hey guys, this is happening, keep an eye out, because unfortunately people like to break into homes that are vacant that have a listing sign. Like putting that out there, never even thought about it, but that's just one thing from that whole list of 20 that you gave us. So in situations like this, like don't get overwhelmed, just pick one thing to move forward with. But Ashley and I were looking at your metrics, and the video that you posted that hit almost 1 million views wasn't even real estate related. And I think that's the biggest message, is that if we pull authentically from our lives, people don't necessarily come to our page for real estate. They come to know who we are, and they stay because of who we are. And so happens that we sell real estate. So and for everyone that said, I'm inspirational, thank you. I really am just showing up as myself, and that's why that clip made me so emotional, is that don't compare, just put you out there. Your people will be attracted to you. And that's really the velvet, like the thing that adds, I keep saying velvet. It's like the extra, the something else to your interactions, is that you show up as you, and we can all say the same thing, but the people that are going to listen to me are not the ones that are going to listen to like a Stephanie or a Vernon. Like, so we all have our own lane if we just continue to show up ourselves and just plug in the formula.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. And that video, our doorknob or door camera, or doorbell camera or ring, it went viral for all the wrong reasons. And it's like, it's actually at 1.5 now. And I had to stop all the comments because people were saying rude things and they were commenting, and so I had to stop all the comments. But like you never know what's going to catch the current. You never know what's going to catch the current. And so the idea is just be consistent with it. Am I going to post something like that again? Probably, but I have to be very mindful, and I have to be aware of, as soon as the negatives start coming in, I have to shut it down to protect my children. But at the end of the day, like I feel that your content, whoever you are on this call, should have a form of being eclectic and not being super, super random, but it's almost eclectic on purpose, right? I got my hobbies, my likes, my interests, my opinions, the inspirational shit. Oh, here's a video about the market, right? Here's me balling out and going out for the weekend. Here's me vacationing in Napa. It's like this, you are the content. And I just want to hit that home for you guys. You have so many opportunities, right? I couldn't imagine not being in this process. I remember a time when I wasn't, but now that I'm here, I can't imagine a time not doing this, right? And so, Blessing, I really appreciate that. Mel, you had your hand up for a quick second, then it went down. Mel, what's your contribution? Good to see you. We're almost there. We're almost there. There we are.
Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, because I'm on the freeway and I know it's a little loud. But you just kind of touched on my question, Elias, and Blessing. I just wanted to know, from this world of options that we're constantly being, given, how do you deliver different types of topics, but still stay on brand? Like a Layla Hormozi, like I think about that. Like she's very good at staying in her lane and talking about things that she's well versed on and things that she knows a lot about, right? And it's like we have so many options about so many different things that we could talk about, and we could take it in any direction that we really want to. But how do we do that and make it, I think you use the word eclectic, but how do we do that and kind of keep it within our own brand and create a little bit of authenticity with it as well?
Yeah, and here's the thing, and let's just do this for the sake of this example here. Mel brought up Hormozi, Layla Hormozi. Well, if you don't follow Layla Hormozi, make sure to follow her. But they obviously have acquisition.com. They started from their gym launch business and now have built an amazing, incredible business. But so this one is about
I think a lot of people see how much I work and they assume, oh gosh, you probably don't have a lot of time.
You guys all experience that. Fear is a mile wide. Fuck your mood. How many times have we said that on group coaching? It's like, fuck your mood, just show up. Here's the hard truth. Sometimes showing up for yourself means disappointing other people. You have to learn to be okay with that. So not all this stuff is about building your business, right? Consistency beats intensity, right? Like think about these things. It's not all, let me show you how to build a multi-million-dollar gym using our gym launch company through acquisition.com. And it's $25,000 to coach with us for X amount of time. It's not all of that. So when you think about this, Mel, you're a mom. Your family came here as immigrants. We've had this conversation before. You're battling being an entrepreneur, being a mom, building a business, being there, being present, being all those things. That's your lane, right? That's your lane. Are you going to occasionally talk about some quirky, fun stuff? Yeah. Did I see the scooter yesterday with you guys feeding the ducks? Yeah. So when you think about it, Mel, she's doing things that are directly in alignment with who she is and what she thinks about. It is no different. Layla is not teaching you how to run a business on social media. She's giving you clips about how she thinks and feels. And then, I think I want to stay here for more. Ooh, she's got coaching. I think I want to go to her coaching because now I get a sense of what it may be like if I work with this person. And they've had so much experience working with other gyms. I think I want to take my gym through their acquisition.com and build our business. So Mel, the thing is, you already have a brand. You already have a brand. You're already doing it. And you have to look at, we had this conversation yesterday, you have to look at what's really worked for you, right? What's worked for Mel, and I think that you guys would all contest, is stuff that has to do with motherhood, balancing motherhood and entrepreneur stuff or entrepreneurship. And then your green screen videos, those did really well. So go back to that shit because it really, really works. And somebody just put there, community, right? You talk about events, networking, community. That's your audience right now saying that that's what they relate to you when it comes to your content. Make more of that shit. That's what you are known for.
Thank
right?
you. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Ashley. That's super sweet. This is good feedback because, you know, sometimes you just second guess yourself. I mean, that's a part of life, right? And so it's really nice to just hear that. And I'll definitely gonna take that into consideration when I'm making more content.
Love it, love it. So let's get a couple key other key takeaways, and we'll start to wrap session. Let's go, Stephanie. Let's go House of Mama San. Let's go, Stephanie. Key takeaways from our time together today.
Key takeaway is just to be yourself. You know, get on there, do some more posts where you can just relate, or where people can relate to you. I think for me, I really struggle with, because I overthink my post. I overthink my videos, and then it keeps me from posting because I'm like, I'm a wonder, like, what am I gonna, let's do some math, guys. That's how I think, right? But really, I see so much and I go through so much on the day-to-day basis. I need to do more stories about problem solving that we do behind the scenes, right? So we can educate people on what not to do. So that was my big takeaway, is just to post more about the problems we're solving behind the scenes and just not worry about being so professional and business, you know, just keeping it only business. I got to do more, just put more of myself out there.
All right, I'm going to give you some raw advice here. You shared something with me a couple months back that despite how busy Stephanie is and she's grown, she has a husband. And how many children do you have? Is it two? Two children. How old are the kids?
17 and 14.
17 and 14. I'm not sure. Do you share them on social or no? Some family.
I do.
Okay. All right. So she told me that despite having a family, being a wife, being an entrepreneur, having clients, answering phone calls, she likes to cook almost every single day, if she can, right? For the most part, you love to cook a homemade meal every single day. And what you told me is, you said, that puts me in a state of relaxation. I love doing that. And I love to see the look on my family's eyes when I prepare a very nice meal for them. Well, I know that that's something that you're passionate about, but the rest of the world doesn't know. Like, the rest of the world doesn't know that you have this passion for cooking. So here's what I would do is I'd put people on game. What's up, you guys? I'm making a bone de gas soup. And while we're here, make this with me. I got 3 things I want to share with you about the market right now. So let's make soup and let's talk about the market. That's shit that people want to see. And how do you do that? How do you make a home cooked meal, be a wife, be an entrepreneur, be a mother, handle client conversations, and still put together a dope ass meal for the family? How do you do it?
It's hard, but I make the time.
So you make the time because it's important for you, because it does for you, and it allows you to be even better as a mom and as a wife, and give back to yourself. Post about that shit. I want to know what's going on in your kitchen personally. Ever since you said that, I was like, when are we going to see some fucking cooking videos then?
You're right. You're right. I need to do that because it is really, really important. And eating dinner every day together is very important to me.
Yeah. And so I know it's important to you. Allow the world to know how important that is to you, because now they're connected with you on a completely different level. And you know what? The people out there that are cooking as well. And when you relate cooking and home and what that means to families and bonding time and Sunday dinners, that all coincides perfectly. So it may not be about business, but when people look at you as a human, be like, the kitchen is where so many memories happen. Like, you're already putting that together. So I would highly recommend that you lean into that. And I just thought of that right now when you were talking. I was like, damn, I don't think I've ever seen her make these home cooked meals that she's so passionate about.
Yeah, I haven't. So thank you for that. I'm definitely going to do that.
Yeah, so Brianna, I would get to you. Key takeaways from our time together. I know you have a fever, but let's go to you. Key takeaways from our time together today.
My key takeaway is just being really authentic on social media and posting more. That's something I've been doing more lately. And I'm actually starting to finally see positive results with social media. I've been getting people asking me actual questions and definitely a lot more engagement.
Yes, I love it. And it's because you're consistent. And the more people see your face, the more they're going to engage with you.
And I'm not overthinking it as much. I'm not redoing a video 50 gazillion times. I've started just throwing it up there. I was being very careful, like watching my mouth and not being me. And now I drop an F-bomb and I won't stop the video.
That's right. That's right. I love it. You guys, if you're not following Chelsea, make sure to follow, Chelsea Peets. She's been a guest for us on Keep It Moving. She did this video the other day that said, embrace your weird. Just be yourself, be different, whoever you are. This video did so well. She inspired me. So highly recommend, look at her. She's also got really good tips, content strategies, ruts to get out of, so on and so forth. So you guys, this is evolution, right? Your content will grow, it will change. But the one thing that you have to remember is that consistency is undefeated. Good, bad, or indifferent. Consistency is undefeated. And so hopefully you guys found that helpful. Make sure to go back and watch this video in the future. If you want the slide deck, let me know. I'll send it over to you. But thank you guys for being here. Thank you for being present. Thank you for being in this moment. And as always, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision, and go out there and crush your weekend. Appreciate you. Peace.
Peace.